going on, y'all? Sorry about the delay. I was on vacation, but we're back. Let's go. Let's dive right into the news. So, if you don't know already, James Gunn a couple of days ago released the title of the Superman sequel and when to expect it. So, it's coming out in 2027 and it's going to be titled Man of Tomorrow. Now, with a title like that, of course, people are speculating what this could potentially mean because there was an animated movie of that same title, and I believe there were some old comic book runs of that same title as well. So obviously, are there clues in the title that will let us know about what the next Superman movie will be? Let's take a look. So this is coming from superherohype.com. It says Superman 2's new title, Man of Tomorrow, gives major clues to DCU movies plot. Given the runaway success of 2025 Superman movie, a sequel was inevitable. Well, duh. DC Studio CEO James Gunn confirmed this, further announcing that the full title would be Man of Tomorrow. This offers several suggestions as the story of the follow up film. Thus far, the proposed subtitles for the DCU movies have lent its insight as to their inspirations. For instance, the upcoming Supergirl movie was originally titled Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. This is also the title of the popular miniseries, which found Kara Zor-El making a name for herself in a deep space outside of her cousin's influence. In deep space, excuse me, outside of her cousin's influence. Her quick cameo at the end of Superman, coupled with her ownership of crypto, both reference elements of this story. Given that, it would be reasonable to look for a story starring Kal-El titled Man of Tomorrow in searching for the story of Superman 2. So, Superman Man of Tomorrow plot might be an adaptation of the animated film of the same name. So, that's the cover of the animated film. So, released in 2020, Superman Man of Tomorrow was the first animated movie made for Phase 2 of the DC animated movie universe. This new timeline was later dubbed the Tomorrowverse to further distinguish it from the DCAU and DC animated movie universe. Set in the days before Superman first revealed himself to the world, the animated Man of Tomorrow offers a drastically new origin for the Man of Steel. In this reality, he is ignorant of his Kryptonian heritage and the fate of his people as a young adult. He first learns of Krypton and his weakness to kryptonite following a battle with the bounty hunter Lobo. More information on his homeworld is imparted by Martian Manhunter, who takes on the mentor role to Clark Kent. The chief villains of the movie are Lex Luthor and the Parasite. However, the usual origins are changed up. In this timeline, tech magnate Lex Luthor is in prison after his crimes are exposed by Lois Lane before Superman made his first public appearance. Star Labs janitor Rudy Jones, by contrast, is a friend of Clark Kent. He is also transformed into Parasite as a side effect of one of Lobo's alien weapons. Obviously, the animated Man of Tomorrow movie cannot be directly adapted for the DCU. James Gunn's Superman was established as being set 3 years after his first public appearance. However, Superman 2 could make use of the Parasite as the main villain and feature Lobo, who is to make his DCU debut in Supergirl Coming to Earth. The sequel could also adapt the plot line of an imprisoned Lex Luthor being released from prison to help fight Parasite. Naturally, tries to double cross Superman at the first opportunity. Man of Tomorrow might stand contrast. There are several comics that made prominent use of the subtitle Man of Tomorrow. The most recent of these was a 2020 series that was published as part of DC's digital first e-comics line. Before that, there were quarterly comics which ran from 95 to 99. There is also the classic Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, the story about Alan Moore and Kurt Swan was intended, blah, blah, blah. Okay. It's all messed up. I can't seem to get a moment. Every time I feel like things may get better, it only gets worse. I'm starting to realize it's me. Okay, so could James Gunn be adapting the Man of Tomorrow animated movie? Obviously not, because that film is essentially a origin story, and we have Superman's origin in the Superman film. So like the article implies, more than likely he is going to take pieces from that uh animated film and add to the sequel. And the reason why I think so is because when James Gunn announced the title and when it was going to be released, he included a picture of Lex in his, Lex Luthor armor and Superman next to him. So my thought is there will more than likely be a bad guy that is going to require Superman and Lex Luthor to team up to defeat. I hope Lobo is not in this movie. Well, let me take that back. Depending on Lobo's involvement in Supergirl, um, will determine whether or not I want to see Lobo in Superman 2. Because if he's heavily involved in Supergirl, then I hope, similar to the animated film, Lobo is just in for a brief moment, but that brief moments, I should say, definitely have some major implications because he essentially creates Parasite. I also hope they don't use Parasite for um, Superman 2. But, James Gunn, so far, I trust him. So if he chooses to use Parasite as the main bad guy, so be it, because I know he'll make it dope. But here's the thing. Honestly, James Gunn could be just using this title and do his own freaking thing, right? So there's that. It could not even have anything to do with the animated story. And he could simply be calling it Man of Tomorrow for other reasons. But the only reason why I think there will be some elements from the animated film is because, again, he did include a picture of Lex with in his armor and Superman together. So I think he's letting us know that there will be some type of team up similar to the animated film. But again, who knows? He could be like, I'm just putting this out there to mess with y'all, and you have no idea what I'm about to do. I don't know. But anyways, what do you all think? I am hyped that James Gunn, I love this timeline. I love that we're not rushing to do some type of Superman team up like they did in the past, rushing to build out the Justice League. They clearly learned from their mistakes, and we're getting, solo films building up to something great. And I love it. So far, so good. Um, I hope Supergirl is as dope as the graphic novel is. And then we got Lanterns, and then we got Clayface, and then we get Superman 2, which also means it's going to be a while for Batman, but I'm okay with that as well because we got Batman 2 coming out. And so they can take their time with, DCU's Batman. I'm good with that. Anyways, I digress. What do you all think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. Do me a favor. If you like the content, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe. And hit that little alarm button as well so you can get alerted whenever I post new content. And also, do me a favor, share with other people who you think would like this content as well. We have a big goal of 1,000 subscribers we're trying to get to, and we need your help. Appreciate it. Till the next one. Peace.